Did Tiny just uncover a secret that could destroy everything she's built with T? The internet is buzzing, the rumors are spinning out of control, and this isn't just another celebrity scandal. What started as whispers on social media has now escalated into a full-blown storm, shaking fans, influencers, and industry insiders alike. Reports are now surfacing that Kandi Burruss's daughter may be connected to T.I., and the revelation has left Tiny and Shekinah reeling. Social media exploded overnight, with hashtags like Shekinah reveals and T.I. scandal trending worldwide. Screenshots, cryptic messages, and alleged insider leaks flooded every platform, leaving fans scrambling to dissect every detail. For weeks, Shekinah had been caught in the crossfire of gossip, already under intense pressure after a previous DNA leak. Now, with this latest bombshell, the weight of betrayal, heartbreak, and relentless public scrutiny threatens to crush both women completely, leaving them isolated and vulnerable in ways no one could have predicted. The morning after Shekinah's viral video, Tiny's world exploded. Her phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Notifications poured in from every corner of the internet. Screenshots, forwarded messages, cryptic tweets, and alleged insider tips, all pointing toward a connection no one could ignore: Kandi Burruss's daughter and T.I. Tiny's heart pounded as she scrolled, disbelief and horror mixing into a bitter cocktail that left her almost paralyzed. Every new detail felt like a punch to the chest, a stark reminder that her life, her marriage, and her carefully curated family image could unravel in an instant. She tried to breathe, to focus on her children, but the chaos had seeped into every corner of her life. Even their laughter felt distant, replaced by the relentless intrusion of a digital storm she couldn't escape. Meanwhile, several miles away, Shekinah sat in a dimly lit apartment, phone in hand, trembling. For weeks, she had carried secrets she thought were never hers to bear, believing she could protect herself by staying out of the spotlight. Yet here she was again, thrust into the eye of a storm not of her making. The world had already blamed her for the previous DNA leak, and now whispers suggested she had been involved in this latest revelation too. Each ping, each buzz reminded her of how exposed she was, how powerless she felt as the court of public opinion rendered judgment faster than any evidence could emerge. Fear gnawed at her. Anxiety weighed her down. She was trapped in a digital cage, every notification a reminder that her life, too, could unravel in a matter of minutes. Tiny's closest friends tried reaching her, but she ignored most of them. Her mind raced, trying to process every snippet of information, every rumor, every screenshot. And even when she attempted to focus on her children, their presence couldn't pierce the fog of panic clouding her thoughts. She thought of T.I. pacing silently through his mansion, fully aware of the storm brewing online, and felt an almost physical separation from him. For Tiny, this was no longer about viral gossip, headlines, or trending hashtags. This was deeply personal. Betrayal made flesh, private pain made public, and emotions that were now being dissected for millions of strangers to judge. The social media reaction was immediate, brutal, and merciless. Fans began combing through every old interview, every cryptic post, and every decade-old photograph, desperate to find proof of the alleged connection. TikTok videos went viral in minutes, each claiming to have uncovered the truth. YouTube commentators dissected body language, facial expressions, and tone, speculating on who knew what and when. Instagram threads exploded with conjecture. Every post, every comment, every rumor felt like another knife slicing through Tiny's already fragile sense of security. The chaos didn't stop. A private message arrived in Tiny's inbox, claiming to contain more information, accompanied by blurry screenshots allegedly linking T.I. to Kandi Burruss's daughter. Tiny stared at them, sweat beading on her forehead. The images were unverified, but the implication was catastrophic. She felt cornered, trapped and powerless, watching the narrative spin out of control while she remained at its center. Inside Tiny's home, the tension was suffocating. She had asked everyone to leave, seeking solitude to process the avalanche of information, yet even alone, she felt the walls closing in. Every notification, every mention of the scandal online felt like a fresh stab to the chest. Her mind replayed years with T.I., every smile, every apology, every public display of unity, and wondered if any of it had been genuine. Meanwhile, T.I. stayed silent in public. Insiders claimed he was furious behind closed doors, pacing through his mansion, consulting lawyers and PR teams, desperately trying to manage the fallout. Yet in the court of public opinion, the story had already taken on its own life. Every denial, every carefully worded statement only fueled speculation, and fans weren't waiting for confirmation. They were creating their own narratives, each one more sensational than the last.
Shekinah eventually decided she could no longer remain silent. In a shaky Instagram live, she whispered, "I didn't know about this. I swear I had nothing to do with it, but I'm scared. I don't know who's playing who." Her voice cracked under the weight of fear and exhaustion. The comments section exploded, half sympathizing, half accusing. Tiny, watching the live in disbelief, felt her world fracture further. Every tear she shed was now public property, dissected, discussed, and debated. Her isolation became complete, a fortress against the digital onslaught that refused to relent. And yet, even that wasn't enough. Rumors continued to swirl. Every screenshot, every hashtag, every leak reminded Tiny and Shekinah that their private grief had become entertainment for millions. Audio clips surfaced, muffled and unclear, yet enough to set the rumor mill ablaze. One allegedly featured a young voice whispering, "I just want him to tell me the truth." Fans claimed it was Kandi Burruss's daughter. Within minutes, the clip had been slowed down, filtered, and dissected by millions online, each one insisting they had uncovered some hidden truth. The scandal was no longer a mere leak. It had become a full-blown investigation in the court of social media, and neither Tiny nor Shekinah knew if they could ever escape the spotlight. Tiny, desperate for clarity, reached out to a trusted friend in the media, someone who could offer insight without public exposure. The friend cautiously confirmed her worst fears. The rumors weren't baseless. Multiple sources claimed to have seen documents, messages, and even photographs suggesting a hidden link. Tiny felt her stomach churn. For years, she had defended T.I., stood by him through every storm, and weathered every scandal. But this felt different. It was intimate, personal, and devastatingly public. Every new post, every leak, every rumor felt like a hammer striking her confidence, trust, and sense of security. Social media detectives worked relentlessly, combing through old award shows, interviews, and candid videos for any hint of truth. Fans dissected expressions, pauses, glances, captions, and body language, creating a feedback loop where speculation only fueled more speculation. Meanwhile, Shekinah's anxiety reached a fever pitch. An anonymous message appeared in her inbox, a blurry photo accompanied by a chilling caption. "We know what you saw. Don't make it worse." The threat was clear. Someone was watching, and every decision she made could trigger another wave of exposure. Tiny's isolation deepened as she refused to engage publicly. She spent hours scrolling through social media, trying to separate fact from rumor, trying to piece together a puzzle that seemed designed to torment her. Every new leak, every whispered allegation, every edited screenshot felt like a fresh blow. Her trust in Shekinah, once unshakable, had been eroded. Every glance, every message, every missed call amplified the uncertainty. She couldn't tell what was real and what was manufactured. By midday, new leaks surfaced. Alleged voice notes from T.I. hinted at secretive conversations, fueling speculation and creating a wildfire of interpretations. Meanwhile, Shekinah decided she had no choice but to speak again. In another Instagram live, she pleaded, "I did not leak anything regarding Kandi's daughter. I only saw it and I didn't know what to do. I swear I am not behind this. I'm scared, but I want Tiny to know the truth." The public divided instantly. Some sympathized, recognizing her fear and vulnerability, while others accused her of lying or covering for someone else. Tiny watched silently, the weight of betrayal pressing down like never before. Every revelation further eroded the foundation of trust she had built over years. Then, a twist no one anticipated. A new set of screenshots surfaced, allegedly revealing private messages between T.I. and someone in his inner circle. These messages suggested that Shekinah had been deliberately pushed into the spotlight as a scapegoat, a distraction to protect someone else. Authenticity couldn't be verified, yet social media erupted, dividing fans further. Some rallied behind Shekinah, insisting she was a victim of manipulation. Others doubled down, convinced she was complicit. Tiny felt as though the ground had shifted beneath her, every revelation another weight pressing on her already shattered trust. The scandal's reach extended beyond social media. Brand deals paused, collaborations were halted, and whispers of canceled projects filled the industry. Every denial, every silence, every carefully curated public appearance was magnified and scrutinized. Tiny and Shekinah were trapped in a storm that had no end in sight. And nightfall only brought more anxiety, more speculation, and more rumors. Even when T.I. finally broke his silence in a live stream, it only made matters worse. His voice rose with anger, pacing across his studio. "Y'all believe anything online? There ain't no secret child. There ain't no DNA test. This is a setup, plain and simple." Yet every pause, every inflection, every gesture was analyzed to death, fueling thousands of interpretations, reaction videos, and memes. Instead of quelling the rumors, the live stream added another layer of chaos to an already volatile situation.
Shekinah, meanwhile, recorded a private, unfiltered video message, her hands shaking, eyes red from sleepless nights. "I didn't leak anything about Kandi's daughter. I only saw it and I didn't know how to handle it. I was trapped between protecting a friend and being accused of everything." The video spread like wildfire. Some fans called her brave, sympathetic, and misunderstood. Others called her guilty, complicit, or manipulative. Tiny watched in silence, tears streaming, unable to determine what was true, what was manufactured, or who was orchestrating the chaos. The scandal had evolved from rumor into a full-blown spectacle of manipulation, betrayal, and emotional devastation. Friends, insiders, journalists, and fans became active participants in a narrative spiraling out of control. Tiny and Shekinah were left in the eye of the storm, their loyalty, trust, and sanity tested like never before. T.I.'s silence loomed over everything, amplifying uncertainty and feeding speculation. Every unanswered question created space for conspiracy, doubt, and rumor to flourish. Social media had become a battlefield. Hashtags like T.I. Scandal, hashtag Tiny Heartbroken, and hashtag Shekinah Speaks dominated feeds worldwide. Every video, post, and rumor was dissected frame by frame. Fans debated every expression, every pause, every whispered word as if truth could be distilled from seconds of footage. Tiny's grief became public property, dissected and exploited, leaving her scrambling to make sense of a world that had become unrecognizable. Shekinah retreated to an anonymous location, yet even there she could not escape. Notifications poured in constantly, screenshots, forwarded messages, and supposed evidence linking her to Kandi Burruss's daughter. Despite her pleas of innocence, the court of public opinion had already decided. Tiny spent hours scrolling, piecing together fragmented narratives scattered across social media. Every rumor, every leak, every whispered allegation added another layer of betrayal and confusion. The tension between Tiny and Shekinah reached a breaking point. She wanted to speak, to tell the truth, but every attempt risked making things worse. Tiny's trust, once unwavering, was now fragile, eroded by a relentless digital tide. Meanwhile, alleged voice notes from T.I. surfaced, conversations about keeping secrets buried, adding fuel to the fire. Fans slowed down the clips, filtered them, replayed them, and debated every nuance, turning every word into speculation. As night fell, both Tiny and Shekinah were emotionally drained, trapped in a public spectacle they could not escape. Their private pain had become entertainment, dissected across millions of screens. Friends, insiders, and journalists whispered, feeding speculation. The scandal had morphed into intrigue, manipulation, and psychological warfare. T.I.'s silence, deliberate or otherwise, loomed over everything, feeding rumors and keeping the public on edge. The following morning, the storm intensified. Social media erupted in a frenzy of hashtags, posts, and videos. Tiny awoke to a barrage of notifications so intense she could barely breathe. Screenshots, forwarded messages, and leaked audio clips dominated timelines. Alleged connections between T.I. and Kandi Burruss' daughter dominated discussions worldwide, and fans were merciless. Every post fueled conspiracy theories, turning the scandal into a narrative so tangled that no one could follow it entirely. Shekinah, hiding in an unfamiliar hotel, watched the chaos multiply. Every time she thought the worst had passed, another leak emerged, dragging her deeper into the storm. She had already been the focal point of blame for the previous DNA leak, and now whispers suggested she was complicit in this latest revelation. The pressure was suffocating. Every buzz felt like a personal attack, every notification a threat. Yet she knew she had to act, if not for herself, then for Tiny, whose heartbreak had become impossible to ignore. Tiny decided to confront reality. She reached out to a trusted media friend who confirmed her worst fears. The leaks were not baseless. Multiple sources claimed to have seen documents, messages, and photographs suggesting a hidden link between T.I. and Kandi Burruss' daughter. Tiny felt her stomach churn. She had defended T.I. for years, weathered scandals, and publicly supported him through every storm. But this was different. Intimate, personal, and devastatingly public. Her sense of reality began to fracture. Every rumor, every leak, every unverified screenshot felt like a hammer striking her very core. Meanwhile, social media detectives combed through archives, dissecting interviews, late-night appearances, and candid footage, searching for clues. Fans argued over old Instagram captions, body language, and facial expressions, creating feedback loops where speculation only fueled more speculation. Shekinah's anxiety spiked when she received an anonymous message, a blurry image with the words, "We know what you saw. Don't make it worse." The threat was unmistakable. She had been cornered in a game she never agreed to play, forced to navigate a web of betrayal, manipulation, and fear. By the time T.I. decided to break his silence on social media, the damage had already been done. His live stream, intended to quell the rumors, only intensified speculation. Fans dissected every word, gesture, and pause, drawing conclusions that fueled further debate. Meanwhile, Shekinah recorded a private, trembling message to clarify her position. "I didn't leak anything about Kandi's daughter. I only saw it and I didn't know how to handle it. I was trapped between protecting a friend and being accused of everything." The video went viral. Some called her brave, sympathetic, and misunderstood. Others called her guilty, complicit, or manipulative. Tiny watched in silence, tears streaming, unable to determine what was true, what was manufactured, or who was orchestrating the chaos.
Screenshots later emerged, allegedly showing messages between T.I. and someone in his inner circle, suggesting Shekinah had been intentionally used as a scapegoat. Authenticity unverified. Yet the social media frenzy exploded, dividing fans further. Some believed Shekinah, insisting she was a victim of manipulation. Others doubled down, convinced she was hiding something. Tiny felt the weight of every revelation pressing down like a tidal wave. Each new leak further eroded her trust, leaving her questioning the foundation of her marriage, her loyalty, and her entire sense of reality. However, the message was only the opening salvo in a war she never expected. Tiny unlocks T.I.'s tablet, the device he always claimed was strictly for work, and the first audio file begins to play. T.I.'s voice is low,
unguarded, dripping with honesty he never showed her in 7 years of marriage. "You were always my real love, Kandi, not Tiny." Her hands tremble violently, and her breath catches in her throat. The woman who sacrificed everything, her trust, her reputation, her happiness, now feels herself reduced to a fragile, shivering heartbeat and the darkness of her own home. But the betrayal continues to unfold, like a slow-motion nightmare that refuses to end. Footage follows: dimly lit hotel lobbies, laughter, hand-holding, secret smiles, elevator doors sliding shut. 7 years of meticulously constructed trust and public appearances dissolve in mere moments, exposed in grainy video that reveals not affection, but deceit, manipulation, and cold betrayal. And then, the pinnacle of devastation, a bedroom tape. Kandi's voice is sharp, merciless, and icy. "Tiny will never know. You only kept her for the kids." These words are not merely infidelity, they are calculated humiliation, a statement of power that strips Tiny of her own story, her own family, her very identity. The storm reaches its apex as Tiny goes live on Instagram at 3 a.m., face streaked with tears, body trembling, yet eyes burning like fire ignited by betrayal. The world watches as a seemingly indestructible empire collapses in real time. "My marriage was a lie," she screams, voice raw and cracked. "My friendship dead. They destroyed me." Every screenshot, every audio clip, every leaked CCTV frame scrolls across her screen as she exposes 7 years of hidden truths to millions. Viewers are captivated, horrified, crying alongside her, or cheering at the long overdue justice they witness. The internet erupts. Hashtags explode like wildfire. Hashtag Tiny exposes. Hashtag TI. Hashtag Kandi ruined it all. Hashtag secret affair leaked. But Tiny isn't done. In a move that shocks even her closest followers, she lifts a DNA report, the revelation of a lifetime, the confirmation of a lie so enormous that it rewrites everything the public thought they knew. "My daughter's father might not be TI," she declares, her voice trembling, breaking, yet unwavering. The world stops breathing, holding a collective gasp in the space between shock and disbelief. This is no longer a rumor, a gossip headline, or a scandal. This is war, personal, visceral, and merciless. Atlanta is engulfed, its quiet shattered by the ripple of destruction spreading outward from a single woman's confrontation with the truth. Tiny Harris, once the pillar of her family and an icon of loyalty, now stands alone in the dark, gripping her phone as if it were the last lifeline tethering her to reality. That single notification, Kandi Burruss, private message, becomes a detonator for everything she thought she understood about love, family, and trust. She taps it, and in that 1 second, her world disintegrates. The message is cold, intimate, and cruelly precise. "Baby Tiny sleeping. I miss you. Tomorrow night, room 804. Same place." T.I.'s voice, intimate, shameless, paired with the name of her best friend, Kandi Burruss, a woman she once trusted implicitly, now becomes the instrument of her destruction. 7 years of shared dinners, smiles, and sisterhood, poisoned. Tiny collapses, knees buckling, breath shattering, phone clattering to the floor. A woman who built an empire on loyalty and unity now faces the ruins of betrayal so profound it feels like the floor has vanished beneath her feet. But she doesn't scream yet. She walks slowly, deliberately, like a soldier marching into a battlefield she never chose, unlocking the device that has held the secrets of her life for years. Audio file 1, T.I.'s voice, unguarded, confessional, unrepentant. "You were always my real love, Kandi, not Tiny." She replays it again and again, tears blurring the screen, hoping somehow the words are mistaken, that the betrayal is not real. But each repetition cuts deeper, a knife carving through the remnants of her belief in him. Audio file 2, laughter, whispering, Kandi's voice. "She thinks she's the queen, but you and we're the real story." Tiny clutches the bed, the room spinning, the castle she built collapsing in her mind. It wasn't a home, it was a stage, and she was the punchline. But even as the nightmare unfolds, it escalates further. She clicks on a folder named 804. Hotel security footage, dimly lit lobby, T.I. and Kandi, hand in hand, smiles like teenagers caught in a forbidden romance. Elevator doors close, and with them, the last shreds of trust Tiny ever had. 7 years of pretending, of loyalty, of love. Recorded, exposed, undeniable.
The silence in the room is deafening. The storm inside, her roaring, while outside the world remains unaware. Then, one final file. Kandi's voice again, colder than ice. Words detonating like a bomb. You only kept her around for the kids. The soundless scream tears through Tiny's chest. Her hands ball into fists. Her breath becomes fire. This isn't just betrayal, it's humiliation. The erasure of a woman from her own life story. And then, the breaking point. She goes live. Instagram, 3 a.m., tear-streaked face, eyes ablaze. The world watches history unfold. For years, I called her my sister, she spits into the camera. I loved him with everything I had, and they destroyed me. Screenshots flash, audio plays, hotel footage rolls, millions join, comments erupt like fireworks. The internet becomes a battlefield. T.I. is done. Kandi is finished. The empire built over decades is burning in real time. And then, the twist that stops the world. Tiny holds up a folded piece of paper, a DNA report. The revelation, her daughter's father may not be T.I. Silence, shock, disbelief. The digital world explodes. Hashtags trend worldwide. Blogs, gossip sites, social media all repeat the same story. Betrayal, infidelity, lies. And Tiny, the woman who has endured more than most, now stands unleashed. The war has begun and there will be no survivors. Hollywood is burning. The internet is a war zone. Fans, haters, allies, all watching the unraveling of one of the most shocking betrayals in recent memory. Screenshots flood timelines. Hashtags climb at lightning speed. Within hours, even Kandi Burruss and T.I.'s camps are silent, stunned, cornered. At T.I.'s mansion, chaos reigns. Phones ring nonstop. Lawyers, PR agents, old friends trying to contain the blast. But it's too late. The bomb has detonated. Inside, T.I. paces, screams, punches walls. The man who once commanded the spotlight is trapped in it. Outside, paparazzi swarm. Black SUVs line the gates. Drones hover like vultures waiting for blood. Kandi Burruss watches helplessly as her reputation collapses in real time. Screenshots, leaked audio, and hotel footage obliterate the image she once cultivated. Hashtag Kandi ruined it all crosses 30 million tweets in less than 6 hours. Fans cry, shout for accountability, demand justice. Tiny hasn't said another word since her initial live, but her silence speaks volumes. The evidence is louder than anything she could say. The fallout is total. Late-night shows, daytime gossip panels, social media platforms, everyone covering the same story. Betrayal, manipulation, lies. And T.I., the king of swagger and control, becomes a villain exposed for all to see. Celebrities post cryptic black screens. Singers unfollow. Rappers drop indirect lines. And then the final hammer, a voicemail. T.I.'s drunken confession, reckless and raw. I never loved her the way I loved you, Kandi. I just needed her. Gasps fill Tiny's live chat. Millions witness him bury himself with his own words. No more tears, only ice. You broke me, she whispers, but her voice is unyielding. But you'll never silence me again. She ends the live with a line that will echo across the internet for years. You can cheat on a woman, but you can't hide from the truth. The screen goes black. Headlines explode worldwide. T.I., not the father. Tiny Harris exposes years of betrayal. Sponsors freeze contracts. Tours collapse. What took years to build crumbles in hours. Tiny Harris stands not as a victim, but as the woman who burned the lies to the ground. Brands paused collaborations,
projects were canceled, and every move by Tiny, Shekinah, or T.I. was magnified under the relentless lens of public scrutiny. Friends, insiders, and journalists became complicit in the narrative, feeding speculation while adding new layers of intrigue. Tiny and Shekinah were trapped in a storm that showed no end in sight. T's silence, deliberate or otherwise, loomed over the situation, amplifying uncertainty, feeding rumors, and leaving the public desperate for answers. The scandal had evolved beyond rumors, leaks, or speculation. It had become a public spectacle, a psychological battlefield, a test of loyalty, and an exploration of emotional endurance. Tiny's heartbreak was raw, public, and impossible to ignore. Shekinah's fear and vulnerability were broadcast worldwide. And through it all, T's silence cast a shadow that fueled chaos, speculation, and relentless judgment. Every unanswered question, every unverified screenshot, every cryptic post created fertile ground for conspiracy, debate, and manipulation. As fans, we're left asking the same questions over and over. Who was orchestrating this chaos? Is T.I. innocent, a victim of manipulation and leaks? Or is there a darker truth lurking beneath the surface? Was Shekinah truly caught in the middle, forced into the spotlight as a scapegoat? Or is there more to her involvement than anyone realizes? And perhaps most importantly, can Tiny survive the public and private devastation threatening to consume her entire world?
The scandal is far from over. Every new post, screenshot, or leaked voice note has the power to shift the narrative entirely. Rumors, betrayals, and manipulations are unfolding in real time, and the digital audience has become both judge and jury. Tiny's heartbreak is palpable, Shekinah's fear is visible, and T.I.'s silence continues to loom over the story like a shadow of uncertainty. This is more than a celebrity scandal. This is a multi-layered saga of manipulation, trust, betrayal, and human vulnerability, unfolding in real time for the world to witness, dissect, and debate. Now, it's your turn. What side are you on? Do you believe Tiny's heartbreak is genuine and that Shekinah is being unfairly targeted? Or do you think T.I. has been hiding something all along, with the leaks only scratching the surface of the truth? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Every opinion matters, and your voice could help unravel this mystery. If you've been following the story from the beginning, hit that like button to show you're keeping up with the drama. Share this video with your friends, because the more eyes on this story, the more likely the truth will emerge. And don't forget to subscribe for the next shocking chapter. Rumors, leaks, and twists are coming fast, and you won't want to miss a single moment. The scandal isn't over. The truth is still unfolding. And in a world of secrets, betrayal, and viral gossip, nothing is ever as it seems.